Thank you.
It is 7:13. Well, our original big guns of politics have come a long way. Kevin Rudd has climbed to the top. Now, Joe hockey star is rising. He's been named the new shadow treasurer to replace Julie Bishop. Joe joins us now for his first TV interview since the reshuffle. Joe, morning to you.
Morning, Koshi. Well, very serious.
Why wasn't Julie Bishop any good?
Well, I think Julie made her decision and she chose not to remain in as shadow treasurer, and that's her call, and we move on.
Okay. She really didn't get a handle on the portfolio, though, did she?
Look, I think, to be fair, I think Julie was hammered from day one. And, look, you know, you just got to move on. I mean, inevitably, there's going to be changes in personnel and changes in jobs. It happens on TV quite a bit, and it happens everywhere, and you just got to move on.
Hopefully not for a while in our instance. Thanks for pointing that out, Joe. She got caught out, though, originally by not knowing the official interest rate.
Well,
what is it?
The official cash interest rate from the RBA, 3.25, Koshi. Okay. But no one's paying it. I don't. Maybe you're paying it, but I'm not. Give you a
big tip. What are your credentials? What do you know about it?
Oh, look, I've had a lifetime career involvement in financial services, both as a finance and banking lawyer, as financial services minister, as advisors on privatisation, a whole range of different jobs, and minister for employment. And everything's going to come down to jobs over the next 2-3 years. Jobs, jobs, jobs. And it's also a case about being prudent. You know, I've been prudent in my own way with my own finances, and I think that's the best way to address.
Because you're married to a finance nerd as well, aren't you?
That's right, she's a nerd.
A finance nerd.
Well, a finance nerd. I love my wife. I don't know where I'm going with this, but you're right. I mean,
you should explain she works for a big merchant bank.
Yeah, and the fact is, as you know and I know, she predicted what was going to happen, and that's been she's a great source of advice to me. But ultimately, I take the decisions I have to take in my interests and in the interests of the party and the country.
It is really weird, though. We are going through the worst economic crisis that this country has seen, basically since the Depression, and the federal government's popularity is still as strong as ever. Every other government in the world is suffering because of the downturn, not here. That means you guys have been really ineffective as an opposition in this area.
Well, it means we were really effective as a government because we left the government debt-free, we left it with massive surpluses, we left it with the best regulated financial system in the world, and of course those other countries, like particularly the United States, the UK, you hear out of Japan how bad it was yesterday, those countries started with big deficits, a lot of debt. Well, in the case of Japan, the financial system has been in a state of some mild shock since the early 1990s in the asset bubble. But, you know, the bottom line is you've got to be careful with people's money. And if you apply the same test to the nation that you apply to yourself, that is that if you spend money, you're careful with the way you spend it. Don't spend needlessly. Don't accrue debt if you don't have to. If you do that for the nation as you would for yourself, then you'll run the nation well.
The Treasury portfolio is always seen as a breeding ground for future leaders. Is that your ambition?
Well, can I tell you, my ambition is to give people a better life. That's why I went into politics. I mean, I've never been particularly focused on my own ambition. I mean,
so you don't see this as
well, Koshi, there's a lot of people
for the leadership.
There's a lot of people that have been treasurer that haven't gone on to become prime minister. One celebrated case recently that comes to mind. But look, you know, I think if you do your job well, if you focus on what's in the best interests of everyday Australians, things will come to you.
You've got full confidence in the coach at the moment?
Absolutely. Can I tell you, Malcolm Turnbull is a man of enormous integrity. And he's been successful in his personal life, and gee, if he applied that to the country, we'd be doing very well.
Okay. All right, Joe. Good to see you.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
Buddy.